one of the things we don't talk about as business owners very much is this fear of failing. Don't mean fear of failure, fear of making mistakes, fear of totally humiliating yourself. Well, business doesn't work out, you have to get a job, you let people down. And this is one of the reasons why many people play it safe. And for years and years and years, I did that and bounced from crisis and problem to problem to problem because I wasn't prepared to kind of take the risks that I needed to take to get the success I wanted. And I see people doing this a lot on social media, on LinkedIn. They're saying things and kind of holding back. They're doing things kind of diluted or toned down because they're worried, what if it goes wrong? And I've done this, and I've kind of had those moments where I'm like, I don't want to say that because what if it all goes wrong? What if I say something, do something or share something, and then it comes back to kind of bite me? I make a mistake and I cock up or whatever. And this fear of failing, not just failure, failing, kind of forces us to play a defensive game. And I remember one Christmas thinking about this and remember thinking like, there's two ways to play life: on the offensive and on the back foot, or defensive. In other words, protecting what you've got, trying to protect what you've got. And it really doesn't work because what happens is you end up losing what you've got. It gets eaten away by life, by circumstances, because maybe it's a dark way to view the world, but there's always a problem around the corner. There will always be something, atrophy. Something's coming to eat your lunch. It's always coming. And if you're not pushing forward, if you're not taking those risks, atrophy is going to come and get you. What does it say? If you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not going forwards, you're going backwards. So atrophy is not on your side. And I always thought, well, if I could protect what I've got, I'll be quite happy there. But then think about it. I'm assuming that the status quo can continue. I'm assuming that everything that I see right now can just keep going and it will just naturally sustain itself. But the law of the universe is that everything decays. And so this mentality of protecting what I've got, avoiding losing, avoiding failing, actually means I'm accepting life coming at me and eating away at what I've got. So you have to be able to take risks. You have to be able to risk a few things. And you took a risk starting your business. I took a risk starting my business. And if that's the only risk you take, you're basically consigning yourself to not a fun experience. And it took me a long time to realize that you've got to keep taking risks. It's not like, starting the business is the biggest risk. Actually, there will be bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger risks as you go. And you've got to get really comfortable in taking those risks if you want to grow. And I'm not talking about becoming the next Facebook here or $1 billion business. It could be as simple as like saying what you really want to say on social media, sharing what you really want to say, being yourself on social media, not putting that kind of polished version of yourself out there. You got to just take those risks.